Hey guys, so I did my junior achievement class today, which was quite the experience. Got back from our international business conference for ERA at like 12 a.m. last night, and after our closing and then getting here, and so it's been a busy morning. So the session that I'm doing is Our City. So we do Our City for Junior Achievement, which is really cool as a realtor because, you know, some of the first pieces of it were talking about planning and zoning, business and industrial and government, all these different zones. And we've gotten into managing money. So today, I met with the kids and we talked about banks and credit unions, talked about savings accounts, deposits, and withdrawals. So I went over with them basically how important it is to remember. We talked last week about tracking what's in your account and tracking your finances, and so today we actually talked about the debits and the credits. We talked about deposits, we talked about withdrawals, and we talked about the difference between your savings account and your checking account. So they now understand the difference in using, say, cash, check, or debit card, or the difference in using a credit card. So today we talked about how to track what's in their account. Some had piggy banks. We talked about savings, and I was like, do you save money? Well, how do you save money? And some kids had piggy banks, which is cool. And then some kids actually had accounts with their bank. So we talked about the difference in their checking account and their savings and what those things can be used for. So I went around the room and I said, okay, what would you pay from your checking account? And some kids said, a house payment or rent or groceries or a cell phone bill. And I said, okay, well, what would you pay with your savings? Savings being money you set aside to use later. And we talked about what that means. And some kids said, well, I'd buy my mom a bigger house with my savings, or I'd buy a car with my savings. So it was really interesting to help them understand, the importance of tracking what's in your account, withdrawals and deposits, and how that affects your account. So I had them break into teams. Well, they're a little group of like 5 or 6 people at the tables, and say, okay, I have one person who's a note taker, and you guys are going to work together to do the math. You have $1,000 in your account. You get your paycheck or your income, which we talked about last week, and that's $100. You have your electric bill, which is $30. You loaned your friend $50 and they paid it back. So we talked about whether those were withdrawals or deposits. And I had them come to the conclusion of an ending balance. But again, heavy topics. But you hope that that sticks. You hope that they learn a little bit more about managing money and why it's so important. We talked about, if you overdraw your account, which we touched on a little bit last week, the negative impact that can have and that there'll be a fee. We even talked about interest today and helping them understand, it's better to save your money and buy something you want than to borrow money and then be paying an extra fee or paying interest. We talked about how interest can be good or bad, that you could have a savings account adding interest, or that you could have a loan or credit card where you're being charged interest. So I think they understand a little bit better why it's important to, A, track what's in your account, and B, to save and use your own money for things. So, and then we had a few hiccups about teamwork. Had to go over that a little bit. Some people wanted to be the note taker and didn't get to be the note taker. So we also had a little lesson on the importance of working as a team, and how you won't always get to do the job that you want, but that you have to contribute as a team because you either win or lose as a team. So it was another fun day of junior achievement. I will paste in the comments the contact information for the lady who does junior achievement, my point of contact, so that if you want to volunteer at one of your local schools or volunteer with one of your teachers, you can do that. Like I said, Our City is just one curriculum. I like to do it because obviously it's kind of relevant to, money management, financing. As a real estate agent, it's kind of relevant. But they have lots of different, and the other reason I like it is because the kids are little and I don't know. I'm not sure what I would do with the bigger kids. I'd be slightly intimidated because, first of all, they'd all be my height. But I like the third graders. I like the height, and I like the criteria, the curriculum. But I will paste in the comments the lady who is my point of contact so that if you guys want to go do it and volunteer, you can. It's only an hour a week, 1 day a week. 5 times. So next week is my 5th session. It'll be my last time for this session with kids. So thanks. You guys have a great day. I hope it's a rockin' Friday for you guys.